ladies, and welcome to Paper Crafts by Elaine. Playing with a few pieces of cardstock here, just trying to look to see how beautiful all of this awesome cardstock really is. So, this is actually going to be the designer series paper that we used today, and I was like, oh my god, that's so pretty. So, I found myself laying it out and picking out the ones that I wanted, and it's been a ton of fun. But what can I say? That's kind of how things roll around here. We have a lot of fun with everything we do. But today, I wanted to make sure that I gave you a really good look at some of this designer series paper because it is awesome. Awesome. Oh, I already got that one. I do. I already have that one, so you've seen that one. Oh, this is the one I don't have. I love this one. It's got those pretty little flowers on it. I just adore it. And you know what? I think I've used the opposite side of all of those. Oh, nope, there's one. So there you go. There's my cards. Let's see, that's 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, that's it. That's it. That's all of them. Aren't they gorgeous? I mean, pretty. And not only are they pretty, but they color coordinate so well together. Now, if you'll notice, some of them are a whole lot of gold, and some of them are just a little bit of gold. So, as you can tell, they are in a rainbow of colors, and you can use them for just about anything. But I think you remember me telling you that I did not want to do something cold today, even though it's cold outside, but I also didn't want to do something that was going to be all flowery because who are we kidding? It's really not warm outside either. So here's what I thought about doing today. We're going to make scrapbook pages that are got a lot of squares in them. And actually, this is a technique that I learned from doing some quilting with a friend a few years ago. So, what we're going to do is we're going to start off with our 12 by 12 sheet of paper. Now, there's all kinds of things in our craft rooms that I just love, and this is one that gets overlooked all the time. And what this is actually a sheet of grid paper. How easy could that be? But I put down my grid of sheet paper and look, I have a measurement here and a measurement here. Well, before I start making my squares, I wanted to put some lines in it. So I'm marking it at 6. And then I'm coming over here and I'm marking it at 6 again. Now I'm going to turn my paper 180 degrees. And I'm going to mark it again at the same places. Now, I know you're thinking, oh my God, now Elaine can't find the middle of the page. Well, that's partly true. But the reality of it is, what I'm going to be doing, I want to make sure that I get it in perfect squares. So now I have 4 big squares, right? So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take my ribbon and I'm going to take my tearing tape and I'm going to put just a little bit of tearing tape from each one, not quite to the end, from each one of those to the other. Now, the reason that I'm doing this is so that when I get ready to put my stuff down, I know it's going to go down right, okay? I decided that I wanted to use a gingham ribbon. After all, in some sense of the word, I'm kind of creating a quilt look, and I got that just as crooked as I could get it. So let's do that another way. Okay, here you go. I got that one crooked too. So what the heck? I can't do anything straight. What can we say? Barbara Godby, she had done got me again. Where's that Miss Barbara? She'll get me. She always gets me when I'm crooked. What can I say? Love her to death. Love her to death. Love her to death. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do then. I'm going to put it down at this end. I'm going to go so that my corner of my ribbon actually does lay over that spot. And then I'm going to come over here and measure it over there. And since I'm having those issues where I can't lay things straight, might be better if I change from doing tearing tape to doing glue dots, which is actually what I done previously when I did this page. So there you go. I'm going to grab me a glue dot off, And I'm going to put the glue dot right on my little edge there. And then I'm going to take me another glue dot, and I'm going to come back and kind of try to line it up, put it in the middle. So there you go. All right. Now that should be pretty straight. So from there, I know I've got some glue right here, ladies. Don't worry about it. We have a glue remover that will just take it right off. I won't have to worry about it. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my scissors and do a little whacking. And all I'm doing is cutting my ribbon so that it's even with my paper. Now, I love the way that this one comes out. But rather than show you step by step, piece by piece, and because I'm not very good at speeding things up, I'm going to show you part of it. And then I have another part of it where I've got this part already done. And you can see me do the second part of it. So here you go. Ribbon's cut. Going to come back, put my ribbon down from here. Whoop. Could actually put it down this way. Put it down here. Put it down there. And now I'm going to want to put another one in the middle because I don't want this ribbon bouncing around on me. And I am just using my mini glue dots. Not anything particularly difficult. There we go. Now I have two pieces of my ribbon down. Now, I have a choice here. I could continue to use this ribbon, or I could trade off to something else. But I decided that I want to kind of continue using this ribbon for how I'm going to do this page. Now, on my other page, I did it differently. That should really not surprise any of you because you know I am pretty good at doing things differently. I never do things the same way twice. Am I the only one? Hi, there's Barbara. I knew she'd be here. Happy New Year to all of you. Boy, it was tough getting back in the swing of things this year. I had a great vacation with my grandkids. Got to spend some time with my son. So it was a really good vacation. I know Barbara had company this time. Her and one of our demonstrators got together for Christmas, so she had some company come to visit her. So I know she had a great Christmas as well. And I see Miss Janet, and there's that beautiful Miss Marty. So I got both of them here with me. So as you see, I am changing up my ribbon colors now. And when I do that, I'm simply going back and putting these dots down. So while I am doing this, I can be telling you about some other things that are going on here. We're going to be doing our first crop over at the church on Saturday. So you need to come on out and craft with your friends. You've been with your family. Now it's time to come back and play with your friends. So we're going to be doing that crop on Saturday. And it's over at the Yates Church. If you're not from the area and you want to attend, I do it virtual also. So you can come on over and play with us virtually. I have quite a few friends that are not local, and they want to crop too. So they'll come over and they'll crop with us virtually. It's really kind of fun because I include them in our games and anything else that we might do during the course of the day. So it's not bad if you have to do it virtual. Of course, being there with us in person is always a hoot. And for those of you that are attending, we are doing a potluck this time. So, grab your favorite whatever and come on see us. All right. As you can see, I'm beginning to finish this up. I'm getting my last ribbon down. And while I'm doing this, let me just tell you that, remember, I put all of my marks on the 6th. And now, when I get ready to do the rest of my page, I know that my inside pieces are going to need to be 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. So each one of these blocks are going to come out to be 3 1/4. So you'll want to go ahead and get those cut when you are putting together how you want your paper to look, how you want your page to look. Now, I like the way this is coming out. As you can see, have to be careful about not pulling your ribbon too tight, because if you pull that ribbon too tight, it will buckle, and that's not much fun either. So Let's get this one down and not buckle. There you go. All right. And now I can go back and put glue dots on it anywhere I want to if I decide, that I want to put these pieces down a little bit stronger. And I'll go ahead and tell you, it's really a good idea to put a glue dot down in each one of the crossings. That way the ribbon lays straight on itself and it lays good and flat to your paper. So here you go, we're putting all of our ribbons down. Now you could do this if you were making a card instead of a scrapbook page. You could do the same technique. And all you would do would be measure your card in half. Now, if you remember when we got started on this, that's exactly what I did. I took and put my card so that it was in half. I think this is the only one I have left. All right, there you go. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do with this is I'm going to go through and I'm going to make sure that I have all of my pieces put down, all of my edges trimmed up, and then we'll be ready to go to the next step. Now remember I told you that I had one that I had partly done, and then I had one that I wanted you to see me do, mostly because I wanted you to see just how easy it is to get these ribbons down when you're working with your grid paper, because that grid paper really made it easy for me to mark it and to come back and put it down. So there you go, got all my corners done. And I also like that I can clean this up pretty easily. Remember, if you don't want to cut your ribbon, you could just tuck it underneath it and it would be there in place for you. All right, so now you've got a good view of what my base of my scrapbook page is going to look like. So now let's take a few steps forward and let's take a look at what I'm going to be doing next. So as you can see, I did these ribbons a little bit differently than what I did the previous ribbons, okay? One of the things I did was not trim it all up. There you go. Get it trimmed up. Now, as you see, I really thought about doing these in like 3-inch little blocks. But as you can see, if you do a 3-inch little block, oh my God, it's so tiny that I really didn't think I could get any of my pictures in there. So just to show you what I'm talking about, if I'd have done it in 3-inch blocks, then there would have been another ribbon right here. And I wanted my blocks to be equal, so you're going to have to divide into equal portions. So if my paper's 12, I could do it either 2, 3, or 6 because there's an even division of my paper. So remember, if you're going to be doing it with your card and your card is 8 long, you're going to want to do it by 4, okay? So I decided that I only wanted them to be this size. Now remember I said that you could go ahead and cut your blocks, and you can. So what I've done is I have cut out, and I am using the Bumblebee cardstock, and I've cut out my Bumblebee cardstock so that it will fit on the inside of each one of these blocks. So again, I want to keep myself a border. I do not want to have anything that's not even. I want to keep myself a border. That one apparently didn't cut straight because I don't like it. Okay. So there you go. I just took and put these down. Now for the ones that are here in the corners, the sides like this, all I did was cut it on the diagonal. And when you cut it on the diagonal, then you'll find that you do have the exact right size that you need to put down one for each one of your quarters. Now you don't have to put it down. You could put nothing there. You could just leave it blank. But I wanted to add a little something to it, and you're going to see why in just a minute, okay? So there you go. So I have that one down, and I want to get this one down. So as you see, I've not really done anything that I'm not showing you how to do. I just had a little bit of it done in advance for me. So I had decided that in my particular case, I wanted to have one of my bumblebees at each one of my blocks. I could have done alternating. I could have done a couple of different colors, but I decided that I wanted something to put in there that I would be putting the same thing in each block. So from there, it looks like I am short some of my half blocks, or my blocks cut on the diagonal. Nope, here they are. I thought I had enough. I may not. I may still be short. Let's see. All right, and remember, I told you when I did them on the diagonal, I do the exact same thing. I mean, it's going to fit in there for you. As long as you've got it cut the right size, and then you cut it on the diagonal, it's going to fit for you. You're not going to have any problem with that. And the same thing will be true with my designer series paper. So as you can see, I have already put in a few pieces of designer series paper as well. Let me get this last one put down. And then we'll have all of our cardstocks put down. So I like doing these kind of scrapbook pages because to me they kind of have that quilt look, and quilts always make me feel nice and warm. So there we go. We have that. All right, now the next thing that I wanted to do was I wanted to put something on my page that would add some color to it. Not just a bunch of stripes and whatever. I wanted something that would add some color to it. So I went back, and you remember those beautiful pieces that I showed you in the beginning? So I've cut these in 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. So they're square, much like these are. And as you can see, I've put them down. But before I completely put them down, I want to decide, where am I going to put my pictures, okay? So I've already decided, remember here, whenever you're working with me, if I have white, that means that that's where I will be putting my picture. So Cindy brought me all of this fantastic white scrap paper that she just kind of had hid in her room. Who would have thought Cindy would ever have scrap paper hid in her room? But anyway, so what I'm doing now is I'm deciding where I want my pictures to go. And in this case, I've decided I'd like to have 3 pictures. I will tell you one more thing, too. I have made up my mind in creating this that I have so much color on the page that when I go to put my pictures down, I've decided they're going to be in black and white. And to make that even better, my pictures are probably going to be of our trip that we took throughout the winter. We went over to Florida, said hey to a few of my Florida friends while we were down there. Got to see Jane Showerman, and we all had a really, really good time. So that's the way that my scrapbook page is going to look as far as pictures go. Now, here's the next thing I like. So when I put my cards down, I realized real quickly that I'm a left-handed girl. I want my embellishment over here on the left hand. And so that is what, all I had to do is pick my page up and turn it around. How about that for simple? Too simple, almost. So now I've got my pictures here. Now I could very easily have put a white underneath this so that it would also have the trim, but I want my pictures to be big. And so I am literally going to have my pictures cover this entire piece of white cardstock, okay? So from there, I wanted to go ahead and put down pieces that I might want to use around the edge. Now, since I don't have a picture here, I think I'm going to put a small picture here. And remember, I told you that the way I got my pictures done was I took and cut my piece of square here. Remember, it's 3 1/4 by 3 1/4, and I'm basically just cutting it on the diagonal. There we go. And so in this case, I'm going to have a picture here as well. Now, whenever you're doing this kind of scrapbook page, if I wanted to, I could very easily take and put this scrapbook page so that the half of the picture would be here and the second half of the picture would be in the page adjacent to it. So that way I'd have half of the picture here, half the picture there. kind of help tie in the two pages together. The next thing that I sat down and realized that I wanted to do right away was I wanted to keep some balance in my page. So if you can notice, I've still got these really heavy centers because um, that's where my pieces are for my pictures. So when I come back out here to the outside edges, I wanted to make sure that I kept my pages this way so that they would be just a little bit on the heavier side as far as design goes. So I'm going to put a heavier piece over on that corner. Let's cut it on the diagonal, and then we'll put it down right here. See, again, once you cut these blocks, you can decide which one of them you want to be putting on the diagonal and which one you do not. So there you go. I have that there. So I am looking around at what I have going on. I'm thinking that I would probably like to put something a little lighter here. So I'm going to come back and put this one in, which is actually the opposite of that one. So let's put it down. No reason to waste it. It's already cut, right? No reason to waste it. We don't waste, and we don't have naked cards. There you go. All right, now I've got other spots that I've got to decide what I want to do with them. So I could come back and put another picture here, which I think, and I'll let you see what I'm saying. I did cut that one completely on the diagonal. Ooh, Elaine, you got to fix that. There you go. So I think if I do that, I kind of like the way it looks. It kind of keeps my page grounded, and I like the way it looks. So I'm thinking I may actually do that with this particular one. Now remember, I have not put any embellishments on this yet. All I've really done is set up my page base, and I love setting up page bases. So I'm very curious. I need to know in comments, did you promise yourself that you were going to clean up your craft room in the new year? If you did, all you gotta do is say yes. Nobody's gonna judge you. Nobody's gonna pick on you. More importantly, nobody's gonna call you. But I need to know, did you decide that part of your New Year's resolution was that you were going to clean your craft room? And as I said, I just need to know for you to put in the comments, because I'm going to let those people know that my blog for the whole month of January is going to be about how to organize your craft room. Now, Cindy asked me a real important question when I was telling her what I was going to do. And I got to be honest with you girls, I got some tips on that as well. And the tips basically work out so that you can not only clean your craft room, but you can keep it clean after you got it there. So just hang with me. That's going to be on my blog all month long. If you're not familiar with my blog, it's papercraftsbyelaine.com. And you'll see all kinds of things there. But I'll be starting that blog post today, actually. The first one hits this afternoon. And so there you go. All right, don't like that one. It's just too plain. I want something with a little more oomph to it. No, that one's a little too plain for me too. Use that one already. Ooh. Oh, nope, that's too similar to that one. Oh, what can I say? How about a pink? Okay, we can do that. I'm okay with that. What's on the back side of that pink? Ooh, those flowers. And I really like those flowers. Ooh. Ooh. I really do like those flowers. Oh well, we'll just have to use the pink because I don't want to have two of the same color in my quilt on the same page. But the good thing about that is that though I won't have two of the same color on my page, I will have one of the exact same color on the opposite page. Okay. So there you go, ladies. I have it put together. Now, if you'll notice, I got a dark spot here. You can guess. I was putting down a glue dot, and then I turned around and thought, oh, I can come back and I can use a dot of glue. Well, liquid glue behind a ribbon does not work, ladies. You have to keep yourself on pace. So here's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to take and do a little bit of stamping so that I can come back and decorate this page. And here we go. Get my piercing mat. If you don't have a piercing mat, you're missing it, because those babies are the best. Now, the next thing that I wanted to do was I wanted to do my stamping in green. So since I used the mint macaroon base, I wanted something that would be complementary to the mint macaroon, but I also wanted it to be a little bit darker. So I'm going to be doing my actual stamping in Just Jade. Well, might help if I could stamp it a little bit here. You know how it is when you go on vacation. You come back and you're all fingers. And that's exactly what happened to me this trip. I have come back all fingers. But it was nice to get home to all of my friends. To what can I say? I missed you guys. So we're still working on our retreat. Man, can you believe that thing's only like 6 weeks away? I can hardly wait. But we're getting a lot of work done so that we'll be ready for it. And I've decided that when I put these down, I may want to put a little bit of something down behind it. So look, these are the strips that were left after I cut my 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. And so that makes for a nice way of rolling too. There we go. And I'm going to put it on here. And of course, you know me, I got to put it on a few dimensionals because I don't like everything flat. So here we go. So this one says you're the nicest. I think that would be nice to put under any picture, but I also think it would be nice to put across the center of the page, because anyone that I put on my scrapbook pages are going to be nice. I'm not one of those people that kind of run along with the bad people. Besides, I have some of the best friends. There we go. And I will snip the end off of that. And to make sure that my corners run along with the one that I already have, I'm going to do my snipping here in place. And I know, ladies, you don't have to tell me, I know. I did not get that exactly even, but that's okay, because you'll see when I put it down, it doesn't have to be exactly even. So the other thing that I want to do is I've got some beautiful flowers on this page. And by the way, I am using the Honeybee Home stamp set. I really liked the way these particular ones came out. The flowers in them are super cute, super pretty, and it does make for a nice addition to my paper. Now the next thing I'm going to do is when I stamp these, I'm not going to be stamping it in the Just Jade. I'm going to come back and stamp these pieces in my soft suede. I'm not using, I know y'all know that I normally use the Early Espresso, but I'm not using the Early Espresso today because I'd like for it to be a little bit lighter. I don't want that heavy look on there for it. I am going to be coloring these, and again, I don't want to have it super, super dark. So I'm coming back in here and I'm touching up my flowers just a little bit since the polished pink is on my paper. I am comfortable using the polished pink. And again, notice I'm not doing any fancy coloring. Definitely do not want to color it in. Just want to do some tip coloring. And I am going to be adding this to my scrapbook page. I also realized I didn't cut it in the middle. That's kind of intentional as well, because I want to use it to just put it across the center or down the side of my pages. Remember, I got a lot of color in these pages, so I'm not going to need to put a lot of added color into my embellishments. So let's come back in here. A few little lines there. A few little lines there. I'm not sure if this, yep, it is a flower. There you go. Alright. And now I'm going to come back with my, and I love these things. This is my blending pen. I'm just going to spread a little bit of that pink out. Just trying to get, basically all I'm really doing is getting rid of the hard lines. Not real big on hard lines when it comes to flowers. Okay, and now I need to do a little bit of touching up to my greenery. So I'm going to use mint macaroon and saffron for this because I want it to be soft with just a touch of color in the middle. But I don't want to be spreading out my green because I want it to be a little more than just something spreaded. So this is my soft seafoam, and then this is my mint macaroon, and as you can see, I'm just adding a few lines to it. It doesn't need a lot, just a little bit. There we go. Alright, now that's a little wide. Not going to need it that wide. So I am going to come back and trim it up on the sides. There's me a great piece to be using for any of my future tags or the sentiments that I want to make. And I wanted to come back and put this one on one as well. So, and I have started doing something and I've really ended up liking it a lot. And what I'm doing is I'm not lining up everything. I'm letting things kind of fall off the side some. And for some reason, I've just really taken a liking to it. You know how it is. You don't know if you're going to like something or not until you do it at least once or twice. And I've done this a couple of times, and I really do like the way it works out. You'll see what I'm talking about. Everything doesn't have to be surrounded. Everything doesn't have to be matted. Sometimes you can just simply come back and do them with a hang over the top and a hang over the bottom. And of course, I'm going to take my scissors and snip it off at the top. Let's close up this ink before I end up putting it on things I don't really want it to be on. All right. So far on this page, I have some gorgeous ribbon, and I've used some beautiful designer series paper. And now I'm going to be putting down, let's get this page laid right, okay? Now I'm going to be coming back and putting down some pieces that will, number one, hide my place here. I don't want to use that there because it already has pieces. I don't want it there. Where do I want this piece to go? Maybe I do need to. Oh, yeah, I like that. Yeah, I'm okay with that. So we'll put that there. And then we'll come back across here with our You Are the Nicest. Now, notice that I'm not laying everything in order with my lines. I'm going to have to snip this. I don't like the way it's doing. There we go. Now I like it better. There. All right. So this is my scrapbook page for today, and as you can see, ladies, it is a quote unquote a little bit busy, but more importantly than that, the scrapbook page gives you the opportunity to use some different designs, use something other than just just paper and whatnot. Use your ribbon to decorate your paper with it. You don't have to use a designer series paper to go in the back. You can always create your own background. But I am very happy with the way that this one has turned out. And when I get ready to post this one, I will take the time and finish up the other one so that you'll get to see what both of them looks like. And you also have watched me do it. So I look forward to seeing some of the things that you have made using this design. Remember, post it. I love seeing the things that you've made. So post it right here on Paper Crafts by Elaine. The other thing I want to mention to you is that while you're posting things, you may want to run over and sign up for my newsletter. Just recently, I dropped a hint in here that if you ordered from me on certain days, you would be getting free shipping. Thrilled to see so many people take advantage of that. But let me also say that I do that on the inside of my newsletter all the time. So you're definitely going to want to sign up for my newsletter, and you can do that at papercraftsbyelaine.com/newsletter. All right, ladies, hope you have a dynamite day. Cindy and I will be back on Friday when we're going to do some more crafting with the honeybee home bundle. You're going to get to see those actual bees on it. Looking forward to it, ladies. Have a dynamite day and stay warm. Bye.